Hello, this is Gretchen the Verdant Crafter. Today I'm going to be showing you 10 cards I made using the Simon Says Stamp July 2018 card kit called Cool Summer. In actuality, I made 27 cards, I believe. I don't show you how I made all those cards because that would be an insane video length, but I do show you how to make several of them. First, we're going to start with the cardstock that came in the kit. There's 4 pieces of cardstock in doll pink, island blue, bright yellow, and green leaf. There's that gorgeous glitter paper from Simon Says Stamp. There is 1 doll pink envelope, and there are 3 pre-scored 120-pound card bases. There's a great stamp set called One Cool Pineapple, and there are 12 double-sided Cartabella Summer Splash papers. I really like these because they do have some fun patterns, they coordinate together, and they're just really fun. There are also stickers that came in the kit. So these are by Amy Tangerine, and they're Sunshine and Good Times Mini Icon Puffy stickers, as well as the Sunshine and Good Times sticker book. So these stickers are translucent, or actually transparent. So in a lot of cases when I chose to use them, I layered them on a piece of white paper and then cut them out, just so that you wouldn't see the color of the cardstock underneath them. And they have holographic bits on them. So there's also the flamingo wafer die and that piece of Sizzix craft foam with adhesive on both sides, as well as those beautiful oh my goodness, sequins. So I sat down with the kit and I sketched out a bunch of different ideas. I didn't do all of these ideas. And in fact, I really liked some ideas, whereas later I was like, what was I thinking? So I also stamped, black heat embossed, and then painted, colored in with Zig Clean color markers and Arteza brush markers, a bunch of images before I got started. So I showed you all of those. We're jumping into card number 1. This is a really simple card. So I cut out an image that says, Dear Friends, and then I cut out a bunch of those 1x1 square icons that are on a piece of paper, and I layered them all around each other on foam tape. I think one of them, the foam tape, wasn't very sticky just because I'd handle it a lot. So I did end up using a little bit of adhesive on the back so that the adhesive would dry and stick to the foam tape, and it gave me a little bit of wiggle room. This is a really simple card, and you could make quite a few of them. It's not my favorite, but it was a great jumping off point. Okay, moving on to card number 2. Card number 2, I really like the idea. And in fact, I made another one of these, I think. So here I have a piece of paper that is, I want to say, about 3 inches or 2 3/4 inches wide by maybe 4 inches or 3. Yeah, you can see. I don't have measurements because I just sort of went to town. Here I have another piece of cardstock card that's the same size, and I'm white heat embossing the sentiment, wishing you a happy birthday. These sentiments are very punny and very sweet. Each sentiment has an image that goes with it, as well as there being a couple other images. So there are some bubbles, there's what I think is a starfish, there's sunglasses. So I've popped that up on foam tape. And now I'm just going to glue down 3 fishies. So these fishies are goldfish, and they match the colors in that paper that's below that I layered it on. I'm using one of the card bases that came in the kit, and this was just a really simple card. I'm also going to go in, and within this kit I use a lot of the gloss white crystal drops from Nuvo. Almost all of my cards had white Nuvo drops on them. And, you know, that's great because they all go together. I think the white goes with everything really well. Most of my sentiments were either black or white. And, you know, it's great to use your Nuvo drops. I don't use them nearly as much as I should. And, you know, use it or lose it. In this case, I use the Nuvo drops as the air bubbles coming from the fishies. There are stamps that you could use, and I think it would be fantastic to stamp the air bubble and then fill it in with Nuvo drops. I just had popped the image up with foam tape, so I chose to just put on the Nuvo drops. Here I've stamped in white and heat embossed the sentiment, "You're one cool pineapple," onto vellum. And I have this pink paper that has like tikis and pineapple or coconut drinks, so very tropical. And I'm cutting it down into almost, I think, a square. I think it's 3 inches by 3 inches. And you can see that the sentiment is pretty big for that small piece of paper, especially with the large image. The images in this kit are all fairly large along with the sentiments. So I chose to cut out the sentiment. So I fussy cut around it with some detail scissors, leaving a slight border on the vellum. And then what I'm going to end up doing is turning it over, put some multimedia matte or Ranger collage medium on the back behind the letters, and then gluing it down. For this kit, just like I did the white Nuvo drops, I did a lot of fussy cutting around my sentiment and then gluing it down. Most of my sentiments are actually white heat embossed, and a lot of them are white heat embossed on vellum. And actually, that was a poor choice in some cases. You can't really see the sentiment very well because I put it on white paper, or mostly white paper. So yeah, live and learn. Here I'm using some foam squares to pop up my little pineapple. And I'm going to come in with some Nuvo drops in, what was the color? Golden Sunset. This is a rich coppery glitter color. And I put those little dots in the little circles on each of the segments of the pineapple. Pineapples are really cool because I believe they're compound fruits. So all of those parts are actually a different fruit, just like raspberries. Each of those little circles is a different fruit. But with pineapple, obviously, they sort of grow together. So you could use a knife and slice it carefully. And that's my botany degree coming out. I think pineapple is really cool, but I actually don't like the taste of it or the smell of it. Go figure. So for card number 4, I'm doing some ink smushing. I'm using tumbled glass, and I believe that I come in with just a little bit of salty ocean. I'm going to go in with tumbled glass twice and salty ocean once, and excuse the crash that you heard, maybe. I just knocked a bunch of stuff over, or rather the cat knocked it over, but whatever. I was in the way. Obviously my fault. I'm layering that piece of paper onto another piece of paper and cutting it out with a very slight border. I believe this is about about 1/8 of an inch. And I have this great piece of paper that I actually had a different card planned for and forgot about, so I do regret that. I have cut it out to be 4¼ inches by 5½ inches, so it will cover my whole card base. I'm white heat embossing, wishing you a happy birthday. And then I'm going to glue that down onto one of the white card bases. And there I'm just making sure it's perfectly adhered. I did have some warping with this. I was a little impatient. Silly me. You know better. And those are some of the fish. I do, in the end, use up all of my fish except for that one purple, like pink body, purple tail one, which I didn't really like. Oh well. There, I'm trimming it off because my paper wasn't cut quite perfectly enough, and there was excess showing. And that's where I have some warping. Okay, so on this little piece, I'm going to layer 2 or 3 fishies on it. And I'm going to glue them on. And then I believe I'm going to pop up that panel with some foam tape or fun foam or something like that, which I don't show. And here I'm coming in with the Nuvo drops. One of the cool things about Nuvo drops, which is both cool and annoying depending upon your perspective, is if you layer it on something that's a water-based ink, it will sometimes pick up the color beneath it. So if you say ink blended a background with distress ink or distress oxide ink, and then just put Nuvo drops on top of it, especially the white or one of the clear colors or a light color, that color beneath is going to be picked up and your Nuvo drops will become a lighter color or version of that color, which you probably know. Okay, so I layered that panel onto a piece of white paper and cut it so it had a little border. I have that vellum piece that says "You Bring the Sunshine," white heat embossed, and now I'm popping up that little sunshine image. I stamped it and heat embossed it with black pigment ink and clear embossing powder, and then I painted, orange and yellow on it, and then I just put some glitter pen over it from Spectrum Noir. Okay, moving on to card number 6. This card used some gray paper that did not come in the kit, and I used the die, which is very intricate. I love that it adds some details to cut out 2 flamingos. So these are sort of my pigeon flamingos, and this is where I'm like, your paper is mostly white, and you have a white image on vellum. So of course you can't see that it says "Be a flamingo in a flock of peacocks." I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll come back with some alcohol markers and go around it. Maybe I'll just say, okay, this didn't work. If you have ideas, let me know in the comments. So I did fussy cut all my images. Even though I had the die to cut out the flamingo, I fussy cut it around it just because I wasn't sure how well I would line the die up and I didn't want to mess it up. Okay, moving on to card number 7. This is one of my sticker cards. So if you watched my last video, you saw that I tried really hard to use up everything in the kit. Once again, in this card kit, I tried to use everything up, and I am left with some puffy stickers. I'm just not the biggest fan of puffy stickers, and some of the stickers from Amy Tangerine, which I will probably bring in and, put out if I do anything with my students crafty, or just so they can decorate their projects. Because even though I teach mostly seniors, they love getting crafty and putting stickers down and glitter glue and just having fun, which is fantastic, and I adore it. So this sentiment is "You've got style, crafty." "You've got style" is sort of this holographic gold, and here I'm layering all of the crafty stickers that I can find, plus some rainbows and little flowers. So this is on a piece of paper that is, I believe, 3.5 inches by 4.25 inches. I'm going to put all of those images down. Now my sentiment strip I've popped up with foam tape and I'm sort of putting it across there. And then I'm going to put that onto one of the card bases, I think the pink card base. This is a really simple card, and in fact I make another one with fruit that's like this. Throughout this video, you're going to see that I'm going to alternate between glues and tapes, and that's really about what was closer to me or what I felt was better. So I have multimedia matte that is running out at the moment in a small squeeze bottle. I have the Lawn Fawn glue that I really like, and I have tape runner, of course. Okay, so here I'm putting a bunch of multimedia matte around as little dots, and I'm going to add some of the clear sequins, I think. I really like that the sequins that came in this kit included very tiny sequins. Those are always my favorite. Oh no, I used the gold ones. I really like tiny sequins. And in fact, I like tiny Nuvo drops, but most of the Nuvo drops I did like one really big one, and then a medium one, and then a small one. Because, the rule of threes. Okay, moving on to card number 8. This is a really simple card. I used a Sizzix die to cut out a piece of vellum. You'll notice that this is sort of modeled vellum. It came in a pack from Graphics, and it's supposed to sort of be marbled vellum. I'm just out of the regular vellum because I've used it all. I white heat embossed "You're One in a Melon," and I glued with tape runner that little image, and I have a piece of ribbon that's not really matching, but almost matching the card base. So here I'm putting down a panel that is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And I'm going to use foam tape to pop up behind the melon, and then very small pieces to pop up behind some of the larger parts of the letters, which you do not need to see, especially getting the foam tape off. This is a fun little card. My tag was a little bit too big. So after I had white heat embossed my sentiment, I did trim off part of the bottom. And, you know, I wish I had heat embossed further up so that there wasn't that space between the melon and, you know, the top part where you have the hole and the ribbon. I'm using a glue dot just to secure my ribbon. It's very slippery. I mean, it's a wonderful satin ribbon that came as, you know, I think like the wrapping on a kit or something, some sort of packaging. And I'm going to use some glue dots to just put down my ribbon. I like to do this because I like the ribbon to sort of look sort of natural, but I don't like it to pop up above the top of the card. So really, I should probably not use ribbon. I should use string or something, but I like the look. I think this would be great with some clear Nuvo drops or glitter ones or white, because now I'm putting some of those white seeds I'm adding Nuvo drops to, and I'll use a little needle to drag it up. You'll notice whenever I put Nuvo drops down, I sort of pick up the card and flick the bottom. This helps flatten the Nuvo drops out and makes them more uniform. That's obviously something that's optional. And if you hit the wrong, so if you have Nuvo drops on one side and you hit the other side, it will sometimes elongate the drop out, which is why you saw me playing with that one. Okay, so this card, I have that great background that's sort of the waves in blue. The You Bring the Sunshine white heat embossed on vellum, and I put some tape runner on it. And then I used a Lawn Fawn stitched hillside die to cut out that starfish hill. And here you saw that I was really squeezing that glue because it's almost out. And I'm going to put this onto the Island Blue cardstock card base that I really, really like. I peeled that up because it wasn't quite square. And I'm going to pop up with foam tape that little sun. I'm also going to put some stickers, some of the bird stickers on white cardstock and fussy cut around them. I will play with them a little bit to see where I want them, and then I'll glue them down. Oh, and of course, we have that gorgeous pair of sunglasses. This was a really fun kit to use. I didn't quite understand how everything matched. I think it would be really fun if you had Amy Tangerine stickers and paper that coordinated, but that's okay. It's fun. It's whimsical. I really liked using these stickers because they were just whimsical and fun. And I love the peacocks that were in this kit. I really like the sentiment, be a flamingo and a flock of pigeons, you're one cool pineapple, you're one in a melon, you bring the sunshine. There is also, of course, Stuck on You, which is a great sentiment. Okay, moving on to card number 10. I believe that I show you how I made 12 cards. So card number 10, I used Emerald City embossing powder. I think that's what it's called, from Love from Lizzie. It came in a kit quite a while ago, and it creates this lovely shimmery green. I wanted a green embossing powder, and that was what was in my stash. So now I've put foam tape or foam squares on the back, and I'm just peeling off all of those release papers. One of the things I noticed editing videos is I peel off release paper and it goes everywhere, and then I spend like a full minute getting all of the release paper out. So I'm trying this thing where I put it in a little bowl and then dump the bowl. I went outside the lines when I was watercoloring these, so I'm using a white gel pen from Signo to just go over where I went outside the lines. And I'm going to use foam tape to pop up this little adorable watermelon. You also saw that my paper, it has all of those sentiments on it, and I wanted to separate it from the card base, so I did layer it on a piece of white cardstock and then cut around it just to make sure that it had a nice little border. So it is towards the end of summer, and it is crazy. I've had several meetings at school, and I have another one. I have several more actually. So it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to another great year. Physics is really fun to teach, and computer science, and robotics. So card number 11 is one of my favorite cards. It's very simple. I used the Blue Island card base, and I cut out a panel from this great paper that was really just an image. You saw I was playing with a white sticker, but it doesn't show up. The white just doesn't block the colors behind it. So I'm going with the yes, please sentiment that's holographic, and then I'm going to put a couple little holographic hearts around it. I really like the idea of having transparent stickers with white sentiments or images on them. But the reality of this sticker was that the white didn't show up because it wouldn't block the color underneath. Okay, and we are moving on to card number 12. This is another sticker card. So I'm going to put all kinds of stickers, all the fruit stickers. I'm going to put a bunch of the puffy fruit stickers around, all of those lemons. I really like those lemons. They were really sweet. And I think I'm going to put the sentiment, "You're one in a melon," and another watermelon on it. I also used a bone folder to press down all of those stickers just so that they were fully adhered to the background and you didn't see any air bubbles. You see with the sentiment, I did fussy cut around it. It's black on white paper, and I pop it up with some foam tape. I have 2 watermelon left, and one didn't heat emboss quite right. So I've layered them up so I'm covering up that heat embossing mistake. I must have done something because there's just a line of clear embossing powder that goes down it, which of course blocks the color and everything else. For all of my images, I did use VersaFine ink, and then I clear heat embossed. And I did this on Bristol paper so that the Zig Clean color and the Arteza brush markers would move easily. And for the most part, I just put down a dark color and blend it out with a light color. Okay. So this card kit was very fun to use. I hope that you got some great ideas. I look forward to hearing from you, seeing what you like best. I hope that everyone has had a great summer. I've certainly had a crazy summer. It feels like it just started, and wait, we're going back. On the one hand, I teach AP Physics, so going back sooner than this would be great because we have a test in May. All schools doing the AP tests have tests in May, and the timing is not in my control at all. So other schools have been back for a while, and I have less time to work with my students, which is frustrating. I talked with a few AP teachers in New England, and we're definitely on the same page. So I had a bunch of scraps of paper left over, and I really wanted to use everything up. So I put adhesive on a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 paper, and I cut strips of all of the paper and layered them up, and then created cards from those. So I'm showing you what's left over. I wasn't sure what I was doing there. There's the die stamp set, a bunch of sequins. There's a bunch of puffy stickers. There's still quite a few of the regular stickers, those translucent stickers that are so much fun. So again, I'll bring those into school. There's some glitter paper. There's that adhesive foam sheet that I totally forgot about because the cat sat on it, which is also why I have black cats and they were being very annoying. A lot of my cards have black hair on it, and the black hair just brushes away because it's not stuck to the card. But I didn't notice it when I was doing everything. So yeah, the pictures totally have black cat fur on them, and I'm not retaking those pictures. So yeah, I have pictures at the end of this video that show what all of the cards look like. You saw that I had the pink doll envelope. I stamped in a light pink ink the flamingo and then put sparkle Spectrum Noir sparkle pen on it. I love the you bring the sunshine sentiment. Some of these are pretty much, so I'm brushing away the cat fur, identical cards. You can see the stuck on you with the cacti is pretty much identical. So yeah, this was fun. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you get some great ideas. If you've used the kit, I bet you had a blast. And if you haven't, I hope this encourages you to use the kit. If you have the stamp set, it's great. It's very punny. I love how it has big images and big sentiments, and it's just so much fun. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I'm sorry this video is late. I'm not sure if I will get to the beautiful flowers card kit from June 2018. That was when I had just gotten my concussion, so I'm sort of backstepping now because school is starting and it's exciting. Thank you for watching. I hope that you have a great day and a great rest of your summer. Bye.